Hello, Virgo. When I was tuning into your energy for this month, I heard Spirit say the most simple, soothing thing, which was it's not about being perfect, it's about being present. It's about being fully right here, feeling whatever's right here, looking at whatever's right here. You don't have to, your presence is enough as long as you are cultivating that presence. As long as you are making sure that you're finding your emotional equilibrium, as long as you are facing your fears or your feelings as they show up and being with them. So, whatever it is that you want to create or do or be in the world, it's not about making it perfect, it's about being present and offering what is here truly and from this aligned place, this grounded, rooted, earth sign place. Does that make sense? You have something large you want to accomplish, and it feels like sometimes you can accidentally put little hurdles and gates in front of yourself because you feel like maybe there's a way that you could do it wrong or not as perfect. And the truth is that your life is an evolving, alive tapestry. So nothing is ever going to be perfect because everything is always going to be changing. And ideally, that means you are too. So evolution is not a clean, pristine, airtight process, right? So allow yourself to think about being more present than perfect. Okay, let's get into your cards. Let's get into the story of March for Virgo people, Virgo sun, moon, rising, and dominant people. Spirit, want to know what Virgo needs to know for their highest good this month. Want to know what kind of energy they are bringing, how they are showing up as the protagonist in their story. And want to know what the landscape looks like. Past, present, near future. Your guidance, Spirit, for Virgo people as they navigate the climate around them. What is available to them, Spirit? What do you want Virgo to know for their highest good in the month of March? What is the key, Spirit, to unlocking the best of March for Virgo people? Spirit is talking about, for those of you particularly who are Virgo rising people, it's Pisces season. That means the sun is cruising through your 7th house, meaning it is opposing. It is sitting right across from your 1st house, your house of self. When the 7th house is occupied, especially by the sun, there's a lot of action, as in the external world. It's the house of business, it's the house of partnership, it's the house of diplomatic relations, it's the house of law. You could be signing papers, you could be meeting a lot of people, you could be meeting clients, or you could be the client, working one-on-one. There's a lot of activity that is probably on deck for this month, so even more reason to ground and even more reason to think present, not perfect. To worry more about, am I right here in the moment, fully conscious with this person or with this contract I'm reading, whatever, and not zipping all over the place, trying to like be right or be perfect, kind of like people that you can see. I'm being reminded of an interview I watched recently and how the person who was interviewing their subject, you could see in their face and hear in their demeanor that they weren't really hearing the person that was answering their questions. They were thinking about what the next question was. They were wondering, they were kind of feeling, how am I, do I need to adjust my look, and it was palpable, the energy. And it was like, damn, the person you're interviewing is very interesting and creative and has a lot to say. And instead what we're getting is this kind of stilted, stultified conversation because this person is more concerned about, am I saying the right, am I asking the right, Okay, let's get into these cards. Virgo, in the month of March, for their highest good. The opportunity to compare yourself to other people is very much present here. Refuse. Refuse to do that. Come back to yourself. Remember, like, I'm not trying to make it perfect. And looking at other people and the way they are doing it doesn't even help me perfect it. It literally just makes me not present. Now I'm no longer in myself and in my thing. I'm over there in their thing. I'm over there looking at their paper. That will only bring a feeling of poverty over you. So let's talk about it. The Five of Pentacles is why I mention a feeling of poverty, and it is sitting in the climate and energy around you. Meanwhile, right next to it, we have the Four of Pentacles sitting in the guidance position. How could a King of Wands with a Ten of Pentacles available ever worry that they were not enough or didn't have enough or were not worthy, or that if they gave away this idea or this resource or this whatever now, that they would never be able to replenish it? That is an incorrect assumption. You are much more bountiful than you know, and maybe you want to take March to get a better idea of how plentiful and abundant and creative and capable you are. You are showing up as the King of Wands. Again, how could we doubt? The King of Wands is the leader. They want their name on the building or the letterhead or the book or whatever. They are the creator, the creative director. What are you? Spirit is actually showing me like a conductor as I look at this King of Wands. So what is it that you want to conduct? How do you want to conduct yourself? That's a great question. I feel like you have been through a metamorphosis. The Hanged One is sitting in the past, so the recent past. And if you still find yourself feeling like the Hanged One, that's okay. You are in the process of metamorphosis. And then we have a second card sitting in the present, the Moon. Another card all about metamorphosis, all about things shifting shapes, and things are not always what they seem. So if you look around and the world looks a little bit like Five of Pentacles, you might be seeing the things that your mind expects to see. The Hanged One says, and so does the Moon, change your mind. Take that as deep as you can. Open up to new ways of seeing things. Just begin to entertain the idea that there might be a different way to do this. I don't even know what it is yet, but there might be a different way to do this. Just acknowledging and inviting that there might be a different way opens up the gates so that different ways and different perceptions can come in. So open up your mind. Play around with your unconscious. Play around with the places where you feel helpless, like the Hanged One. They're hanging by their foot. They don't have a way of getting out of that position in this moment. And so they use this moment to create something new, to see things in a new way. Well, while I'm hanging here, I may as well take in the landscape and see what I wouldn't notice if I were right side up, because everything would just be the way it always is. The hanged one is being forced into radical consciousness, literally into seeing the world in a way that they've never seen it before. And so they're going to pick up details that other people wouldn't. You see the world in ways other people don't because of your unique place and intersection and perspective. And the world will not and does not always understand. I think that might be part of why Spirit is asking you to be present, not perfect, because it's not about everybody being able to understand it. It's about you being the youest you that you can be. That really is, if we have any purpose on earth, that is our purpose on earth. That's my understanding from Spirit, truly. It's like, you know, society and all sorts of influences are going to come in and mold and malign and rearrange you. And a goal is to get back to our original essence and then be able to mature and develop and enlarge that essence. So if when you were little, you used to love to dance and sing in front of people, but now you're a little more reserved because you know that people, you know, look at you funny when you start to do that at the party. That might be something that you want to start picking up again and playing with again. You may not always be understood, but you're not necessarily here for the purpose of being understood. You're here to do your thing. You might be holding yourself back a little bit. Let's come to that guidance card, the Four of Pentacles. You are richer than you know. So start sharing generously. Share your ideas. Share your GoFundMe. Share your... That's just what I'm hearing. Some of you, it's like you have something that you maybe need, and go ahead and ask for it. Don't be ashamed. Don't think that you can't be replenished and then be able to give out more. There might be a little bit of like financial or emotional or creative constipation happening here, and Spirit, as their guidance, as the antidote, is saying give some away. Give some away. Maybe be a little freer with your affections, with your thoughts, with your ideas. You might be clinging and again demanding perfection before they can be handed out as they are. Spirit is talking about, you know, like hothouse orchids are beautiful. Nobody would ever argue that, right? And wildflowers growing along the side of a highway are beautiful. And some people will love the orchid more for, you know, its look, and some people will love it more because they know it costs more. And there's a difference. And if you are a wildflower, then be a wildflower. And don't compare yourself to the hothouse orchid. Five of Pentacles invites you to compare yourself or what is in your bowl, and I recommend that you don't. And knowing again that you have more than you know, but you may need to acknowledge everything that you have. Sitting in the future, Nine of Wands, and I pulled a clarifier, and we have Justice, which is, by the way, the 7th house. It is the back and forth, it's the opposition. It's also the signing papers and doing business that we talked about earlier. So Spirit is really laying down on that. Nine of Wands, you're going to be doing a lot. You have a lot of skills and abilities to be able to pull on. I can feel that some of you are very exhausted and tired, and I feel you and I understand. And you are fully capable. And if something is feeling so stilted and so draining, and this does not go for all Virgo people, this is for a certain subset. If things feel, do you hear the siren picking up in the background as I say this? If you feel that things are like you're in a state of poverty, whether it's financial, whether it's like emotionally, it's cold in here, whether it's I feel on the outs at this company, whatever it is, don't ignore that. Sitting in the position representing a potential outcome, Two of Wands, choose your own adventure. That's what Spirit just said loud and clear. Choose your own adventure. You need to believe in yourself more. That Nine of Wands does say, like, yes, you have, like, you've been through it, but you've also taken something and learned something from every single thing that you've been through, and you might want to remember and empower yourself with that. Like, yeah, I did go through that, and what did I learn from that? Oh yeah, that was when I really learned boundaries. That was when I really learned how good I am on the spot, or whatever it is, right? And really seize that and own that and integrate that. It's really important because that opens up opportunities for you and makes you braver about stepping into rooms and spaces and sending, you know, cold emails and doing cold calls that you wouldn't do if you weren't suffusing yourself with, look what I've been able to do before. Look what I've been able to do before. And when I've been placed in places that are uncomfortable, I have figured out a way. And I have made the most of it. That's what they're telling me. So let me remind myself and enrich and empower myself. Enrich and empower myself. That's what I see you doing. The key and concluding card, the Ten of Pentacles. More than enough money. More than enough. More than enough, like for yourself. So much that you can share. So much that it could become generational. So much that you can support a family. So much that you can buy a house. These are the different things that I'm hearing. Things that last beyond yourself. Those are the things that you really want to invest in. Meaning, you could hop on a trend and make something that gets 100,000 views or whatever, right? And maybe that's a goal or a wish that you have. And then that thing will be lost to time, right? It'll get its moment, because it's a trend. You'll ride the wave, you'll hit it, and then it's gone. But if you invest in something that is timeless, something that is the essence of you, that you get to, leave your mark, that is timeless and eternal. Even if it only touches 3 people, it will resonate and the sound will explode through their soul, through their skeleton, and change their DNA. And it will be because you were true to yourself. And when you die and go to heaven, God is not going to ask you how good you were. They're going to ask you what you discovered, what you created, what was new. So be yourself and do your thing, and that will enrich and empower you. You need to remember how fucking capable you are and everything that you have going for you, King of Wands. I see it. I hope you see it. I hope you feel it. More importantly, how do you feel? While we're talking about it, how are you feeling? How's this hit you? What's it bringing up for you? Whether you want to write it in the comments, which I would love, or whether you want to think it to yourself and allow it to help you be more present to what's happening inside of you. Both will make me happy. Thank you for spending some time with me, Virgo. I hope I will see you at the Saturday Live. Till then, goodbye.